Welcome to the Day 2 report for the Montana Poker Series. I'm your host, Villainous Thurston. Day 2 would see the final two heats for 3 players: Miles, Iam, and Akira. For Miles and Akira, if they do not perform well, they are in danger of elimination. Fallen My Web, after scoring a 6th place finish on the first day, would be in danger if he does not pull off a convincing finish in this heat. Finally, all eyes are on the MPS champion, Slim Pippin, and Sam Iam, as they are all within striking distance of qualifying for the semi-final. The truth is, however, after day 2, the field will still be wide open and anything could happen. In Heat 1, Slim Pippin, fresh off his win in the first heat of the main event, would be looking to follow up with a solid finish and maybe clinch a playoff spot. Miles Market, at 11 points after 2 rounds, would be looking for a decent score to set himself up for future qualification. Mike Zanovka, a top 5 finisher in the MPS circuit event after the preliminary heats, would be looking to make a statement in the main event with a strong finish. Madness Roth, the wild card, would continue his road to semi-final qualification, and the wild Jazz Tardo Schofield would look to score more points as a setup to his final 2 heats. Miles Market would be the surprise first elimination, pushing all in with a pair of queens but running into Slim Pippin and his pocket kings. This would see him out in 5th place and with 12 points in danger of elimination. Slim's good fortune would not hold up, however. Flopping set over set against Madness Roth, he would lose the pot as Madness hit the case deuce for quads and find himself crippled. This led into his elimination, where Jazz Tardo would push all in with King-Queen suited and hit for 2 pair. This would leave Slim at 13 points, enough to tie for the MPS point leader position. The madness would continue as Madness flopped a set. Jazz Tardo, playing the Doyle Brunson, would make a questionable decision. The flop was 4-4-10. When the turn came deuce, he decided to push all in, even though the turn had no material difference on his hand for the flop. Madness would call with his 4-7, score the knockout, and Jazz Tardo would go out in 3rd place. Even though Madness had chip lead going into heads-up action against Mige would systematically take over the chip lead. The final hand of the heat would come relatively early in hand 65, with the flop being 4-8-6. They would push all in with gut-shot straight draws. Mige with Queen-7 of diamonds, and Madness with 9-5 of spades. Interestingly enough, if either person paired the lower card, they would lose. No help to either player on the turn river would see Mige with his queen kicker taking the hand, the match, and the 10 points. Madness would settle for second, ending his day at 12 points. The second heat of the day would see the MPS point leader, Sam Iam, attempt to clinch a playoff spot in the semi-finals. Fallen My Web would be looking to do damage control after a 6th place finish in his first heat. Miles Margaret would desperately be looking to score points in order to stave off elimination. Mona Carmona would play her first heat and be looking to score for a few points for future qualification, and Akira Lotus would desperately need points to stave off elimination. Akira Lotus would push all in with ace-9, but that would be for naught, as Fallen My Web would make a loose call and call with king-deuce, hitting 3 kings for the win. Akira Lotus would finish with just 1 point and is in imminent danger of being eliminated. The remaining hands would turn out to be a circus, which includes the most questionable call of the day. Sam Iam, calling Miles Markets all in with king-deuce of clubs, would proceed to double him up. However, as the dust began to settle, Sam Iam would find himself involved in a 3-way pot, which featured 2 short stack all-ins. Carmona pushed all in with Queen Jack, and Miles Market pushed all in with pocket aces, but they would both lose to Iam's 2 pair, kings and 10s. This would set the stage for the heads-up showdown between with Fallen My Web. Iam would bully Fallen My around so badly that he would eventually be forced to push all in with his ace-king, only to watch Iam flop straight for the win. He is now projected to advance to the semifinals. The 3rd heat of the day would see a heightened hostility as Card Kenzo, fresh off of brutalizing her opponents in his samurai tourney, would bring her katanas to the table. Though not the feature tournament, this would be the major tournament of the day. Akira Lotus, one of the big 4 of the Montana Poker Series, faces probable elimination in today's tournament if he does not at least score a victory. This match would set the tone for the day's report. Standing in his way is the architect of his demise, Toxic Scissor, who unceremoniously ran him out of yesterday's 5 p.m. heat. Sam Iam, the MPS point leader, Card Kenzo, a solid tournament player, and Bunny Capolini, the 3rd place finisher in the MPS circuit event. In missing his 3rd heat of the Montana Poker Series, Abram Burgum, a newcomer to the MPS, would be projected as eliminated. After an astonishing 40 rounds, the first player would be eliminated on the 41st. Literally, for the first 40 hands, chips were flying around, where everyone except the architect took turns being the short stack. Bunny Capolini would push all in with her ace-9, getting 2 quick calls from Akira's pocket 4s and a Toxic Jack 7 of spades. No help for Bunny, and the 3rd spade on the river would spell out her elimination in 5th place, taking down 1 point. 6 hands later, Card Kenzo, short stacked, would push all in with pocket kings. However, she would run into Toxic's pocket aces, and Toxic would score his 2nd knockout of the heat, seemingly turning him into the architect of doom in general, not just Akira's. Akira Lotus would be frustrated after several split pots with I Am Samayam, where I Am scored the river card he needed to split 5 pots. On hand 74, he would push all in with the flush draw, and I Am would call with a pair of aces. No help on the turn at river would see Akira Lotus knocked out of the tournament in 3rd place and projected to be eliminated from the Montana Poker Series. I Am, having amassed a large stack of chips after knocking out Akira, would bully Toxic around until finally getting the Toxic committee stacked. I Am had top pair and would hit his 2nd pair on the turn to win. This would, at 33 points, guarantee I Am Samayam advancement to the semifinals, still the only person picked to advance. Akira Lotus, one of the big 4, has been eliminated from the Montana Poker Series, meaning a repeat of the championship is not possible. This opens up the field to the other players, and the question is, who will step into the void? Will Garth Martin successfully defend his championship, or will Vilnius Thurston finally claim his crown? Also, the 4th among the big 4, the MPS Circuit Event winner Radiation Tornado, is shaping up pretty well for final qualification. Will he follow up the Circuit Event win with the main event win? A partial answer could be expected in the final heat of the day. MPS champion Garth Martin, fresh off a win in his first heat of his main event, could clinch a semi-final spot and take over the MPS money later position from Vilnius Thurston with a victory today. Standing in his way are 3 faces familiar from yesterday: Jackie Debs, a consistent semi-finalist; Sunshine Kid, a player who made it to the February main event final table; and Mel Newcomb, the Circuit Event semi-finalist; and Reek Longstaff, who made the final table in the last main event, kicking off his MPS main event for the first time, would be FFS Kid to round out the heat. FFS would push all in with on the river with top pair, top kicker, but that would prove not to be enough, as Reek Longstaff had been playing pocket over pair all that hand. He would end his MPS debut with 0 points. The MPS champion would not believe his luck after he pushed all in with pocket jacks. Reek Longstaff would call with ace-5 of spades, and Garmin would opt in for as the river would give Reek the nut flush, knocking him out in 5th place. Severely short-stacked, Sunshine Kit would call after being put all in with Jack having over 5-1 pot of soldiers, so on here comes ace king would hit king on the flop for the win, knocking Sunshine out in 4th place. Reek Longstaff would push all in with the best hand, but Jackie's king queen would hit on the flop and turn for the full house. Drawing dead going to the river, Reek Longstaff would kick off his Montana Poker Series in 3rd place. This would give Jackie Debs a 4-1 chip advantage over Mel Newcomb going into heads-up action. Jackie would attempt to lean on Mel, but she was able to fire back, getting her to fold on a series of all-ins. Mel would take advantage of this to get a quick double up to take the chip lead. The end would cover, and Mel would push all in on the turn with 2 overcards and a pair against and a pair on the board against Jackie's bottom 2 pair. I hit later, and she would eliminate Jackie and win the final heat of the day. I'm out of time, so I guess I'm going to cut it off there. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.